It's time for Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie reviews. Starting with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Taxi Driver, The King of Comedy, and American Psycho don't have anything on this genre-defining masterpiece of a character study about a psychotic person. Greg is awful for all but 3 minutes of the entire movie. I was wearing my book bag with one strap all throughout middle and high school because Greg said it was cool. Shakespeare could only wish to write a line as hard as,
"Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done."
I watched an edit of when Greg broke Rowley's arm, and the audio was Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license. So sad I cried and got goosebumps. Did Greg really just ask, am I the only one who gets comedy, after having the audacity to judge the comedic gem that is Zoo-Wee Mama? Pretentious prick, I say. Zoo-Wee Mama was the bruh of our childhoods.
Class clown. You should just give that to me right now. Don't you have to be funny for that?
I think about this movie every time I hear Total Eclipse of the Heart. Watching Greg Heffley beautifully singing Total Eclipse of the Heart somehow ruined the song, and made it even better for me all at the same time. Very scary Halloween movie. I had to watch from in between my fingers. Manny is a little rascal, sitting on his potty while eating breakfast. What a man! He doesn't care what others think of him, and I really admire that. He's insane, yet charming. How did Rowley not die after eating literal rotten cheese that's been on the ground for years? I want to eat the cheese. I don't know, those close-ups of the moldy cheese just terrified me as a child for some reason, so I cannot enjoy this film now due to the trauma of that event. I have a theory that Chloe Grace Moretz's character is a ghost who's only visible to certain classmates. Patty Farrell was wrongly painted as the villain of the story simply by being a strong, independent young woman who wanted to succeed in a world that told her she couldn't. I am in love with Rodrick Heffley, and I have no shame. Me in 5 years getting interviewed when I'm famous. The interviewer. So, Cameron, I heard a rumor that you have a major crush on Rodrick Heffley from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. Is this true? Me. Next question, please. Rodrick could yell at me to my face, throw a basketball at me, kill my entire family, and steal all my money all at the same time, and I would apologize because it was my fault. 2010 deserves to be placed in the history books as the year Devin Bostick ended misogyny.
I'm sorry, women.
Feminist icon Rodrick Heffley. I'm never gonna be as cool as Rodrick Heffley, and that haunts me every day. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rodrick Rules. This is Little Women for boys. Rodrick Heffley taught 6-year-old me how to lie to my parents. My only complaint is, why isn't Rodrick in every scene? There is nobody more attractive than Rodrick in this movie. I would sacrifice my firstborn to look like him. I would be honored to walk the ground he puts his feet upon. I want him to spit on me. I want him to treat me like crap. I would thank him for it. This movie is the reason I am not straight. Thank you, Rodrick, for my sexual awakening.
Maybe we can paint over it.
I don't know how to make paint. Does he know about the D-O-R-E?
Huh?
The door.
The book. Holly Hills is the 4th prettiest girl in my grade. The movie. Her name is Holly Hills. She's an all-star soccer player, has done professional modeling, and was her 6th grade class president.
What was General Grant doing on the thermostat?
10 years later, and we still don't know what General Grant was doing on the thermostat. I used to quote what was General Grant doing on the thermostat literally every single day of my life for God knows how many years, and it got to the point where I found a little minifigure that looked like General Grant and put it on the thermostat. And when I tell you, it stayed there for a good 6 years. My favorite running theme in these movies is Rowley being the most effortlessly cool person because he's unapologetically himself, respects his mom, dresses the way he wants, and treats girls like human beings instead of things to win. Rowley is such an entity. Wish he would have attended the Met Gala. The Foot, written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. I would pay thousands of dollars to own a copy of The Foot. Seeing Rodrick cry to Patty singing Memory made me feel an emotion that I had previously never felt. Loaded Diaper is a metal band in this one, but a punk band in the next one. This actually isn't a plot hole, they're just that talented. They can do both. Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Dog Days. When this was in theaters, the TV commercial for it had a scene where Rowley and Greg were playing DDR, and Rowley says, "I feel like a gangsta." I described this scene to my dad on the car ride to the theater. That line wasn't in the movie, and on the car ride home, my dad said, "Rowley never said he felt like a gangsta." I remember him sounding disappointed, but he was probably just confused. Gaslight, gatekeep, Greg boss. Imagine being pregnant for 9 months and then giving birth to Greg Heffley. What a disappointment. What's the best survival movie of 2012? A. The Hunger Games. B. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days. Correct answer? B. The Hunger Games tributes didn't have to go through everything the campers went through to survive that weekend, so therefore, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days is the best survival movie of 2012. With each new addition to this series, Frank Heffley continues his downward spiral into insanity and slowly becomes more psychotic and deranged than he was mere seconds ago. Considering the state of the Heffley family, I don't think I blame Frank for going insane like that. Frank, your son is not a good kid. He's a manipulative scumbag. These are facts.
30 love.
Whatever you say. Love.
Rowley's family clearly supports communism. The family sharing one ice cream cone is a metaphor for them standing up to their corrupted government in favor of a system that they believe will support the country. A brilliant use of metaphor to bring politics to this adaptation of a beloved book, making for a deep cinematic achievement. Rodrick Heffley invented that meme where you spell sweaty instead of sweetie. Nah, they for real named their dog Sweaty. Dog Days, more like that dog should start counting its days because I feel like it isn't safe to live in a house with that family. Everyone else claims that A Whole New World is the greatest love song in cinematic history. Me, a cultured individual, remembers Rodrick Heffley's epic performance of Justin Bieber's Baby to win the heart of Heather Hills. So pissed that I didn't get a Sweet 16 party like that. Where was my ice sculpture? Where was my chocolate fountain? Where was my loaded diaper? I still want to know how Heather Hills managed to spill that chocolate fountain on herself. I've been confused about it for 9 years now. Finally, they have assembled. Lord Rodrick, conqueror of galaxies. Susan Heffley, creator of the Bible. Frank Heffley, slave trader. Greg Heffley, the scum slave to those above him. And Manny, destroyer of worlds, feasting on the souls he takes for his consumption. They should bring everyone back one day for a final movie and either call it Diary of a Wimpy Adult and have it be about them all as adults, or have them play kids again and just never acknowledge the fact that they're all adults in real life now. What a beautiful movie to end this series with. Sure is a great end to the trilogy. 3 amazing Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. Sure, I'm glad they didn't try to add another movie to the series. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The Long Haul. I'm an hour in. Please help, 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 help. I don't only want to punch every actor, but every set piece. This movie is a disrespect to the original books, the original movie trilogy. It's a disrespect to the fans of the original books. It's a disrespect to people with eyes, ears, and brain cells. This movie caused me such mental and physical pain that it should be used as a torture technique. Hashtag, not my Rodrick. How are young, impressionable girls supposed to have their sexual awakening to this Rodrick? The reason Rodrick looks so different in this movie is because he's actually a skinwalker who ate the original Rodrick and replaced him, unbeknownst to the Heffley family. In the director's cut of the movie, there is a scene that shows the new Rodrick in his original form before consuming the flesh of the first Rodrick, and through metamorphosis, changes into what it perceives as Rodrick. I really watched this knowing they replaced Rodrick with whoever the heck that is, and I was like, okay, well, I can look past that. And then the movie played, and turns out they replaced every single character, including Greg. What the heck? Okay, we need more money from this franchise, but our lead actor went through puberty and is no longer wimpy. Sounds good. What should we do? Alright, let's fire Greg as well as acting legend Steve Zahn. Next, why don't we fire everyone else? Okay, great. Who should we cast now? Well, I ran into Alicia Silverstone at the airport last week, and she said she'll do the mom. I also found our Rodrick, but we have one problem. He looks like young Keanu Reeves if he was curb stomped. It's okay, I don't think anyone will notice or care because Rodrick isn't important to the series. People are watching these things for the powerful narrative. So, let's bring in the writer and give them instructions. Hello. So our last Diary of a Wimpy Kid film was set in the summertime, and it was pretty bad, so how about you set this film in the summertime again? Okay, sir, can I go now? Wait, one last thing. Can you just add a lot of stunts? I just saw The Rock's new movie called San Andreas with my 11-year-old daughter during my weekend visit with her, and she says kids really like stunts. I'm just confused because I thought Greg was wimpy. If he's doing stunts, then what's the point of the first clause of the film's title? That's it, you're done. You know what, studio head one? Why don't we just write this movie ourselves? Okay, great. The part where a 7-year-old child directs a man by speaking perfect Spanish that he learned in the span of less than 4 days to take him to a petting zoo that he's only been to once so he can reunite with his pet pig while Bruno Mars's Count on Me plays was art at its finest. You're a freaking liar if you said you didn't start crying tears of joy when Manny was finally reunited with the baby pig. There was a bug on my screen the whole time, and I did not shoo them away because they were unironically the best actor. The journey me and that bug had together was one I will cherish until I rejoin them in the dirt. I named them Charles, and I will miss them. It was the closest I was and ever will be with nature. Thank you, Charles. I've said it once and I'll say it again. This is why you never give a CGI seagull a Cheeto. Thank you to everyone who suggested Diary of a Wimpy Kid and voted for it in the last poll, and of course, thank you so much for watching. I hope you will all have a very fantastic day, much better than Greg's first day of middle school, and I hope you never get the cheese touch.